Welcome to EMF 101, the Experience Modification Factor, and what does it mean? My name is Andrew Justice, and I am the Underwriting Analyst for Imwca. During this presentation, I will refer to the Experience Modification Factor as EMF for short. Some of the topics I will cover in this webinar are: what is an EMF, the different workers' compensation claim types and their effects on the EMF, how does experience rating work, and application of the EMF in the premium calculation. The EMF is an adjustment of an employer's premium for workers' compensation coverage based on losses the insurer has experienced from that employer. To get a better idea of how the EMF is calculated, you need to know the different workers' compensation claim types. There are three main claim types in workers' compensation: incident only, medical only, and indemnity. Incident only is appropriate when no payment is contemplated. The incidents are reported to company nurse in order to make a record of the incident. An example of an incident only claim would be an employee receiving a rash after mowing or weed eating. The employee reported the incident to company nurse, but there was no medical treatment given. Incident only claims do not affect the experience mod rating. Try to report all incidents and accidents within 24 hours through your reporting system. Medical-only claims would be any claim involving medical intention, but no time lost from work beyond the statutory mandating waiting period. In Iowa, the waiting period is 3 days. An example of a medical-only claim is an employee cutting their finger on a pair of rusty scissors while working in the shop. They end up going to the doctor, and tests were performed and a tetanus shot was given. The employee received medical treatment but did not miss any time from work. Indemnity claims occur when an employee becomes injured on the job and cannot return to work until they heal or the injury becomes permanent and stable. Employee receives medical treatment and wage support. It only becomes an indemnity claim after the 3-day waiting period. An example of an indemnity claim would be an employee injuring their right shoulder and they end up missing 8 days of work. Please note that the steps taken during the first 48 hours after an injury is reported are often the most important than all of the other actions taken over the remaining life of the claim. Statistics show that when there is a 2-week lag between the time the accident occurred and when it was reported, the medical cost is 18% higher than for those accidents reported the same day as the injury. A 3-week lag time results in a 29% hike in costs, and a 5-week lag time yields 45% higher costs. Company nurse triage will help your employees eliminate the reporting lag time and the subsequent costs that occur when injuries are not reported immediately. NCCI Experience Rating. NCCI stands for National Compensation on Compensation Insurance. The NCCI rating formula is used in 38 states, including Iowa. All standard workers' compensation carriers in Iowa, and including Imwca, use the same experience modification formula. The formula compares your experience to expected experience based on that of all other employers in the state. The resulting modifier adjusts your standard premium higher or lower according to your loss experience. The modifier for the next coverage year is based on your loss experience of the last 3 completed years. In simple terms, the formula takes an employer's actual losses divided by their expected losses. Three years for experience rating. Please notice the slide in the 3 years 3-year loss period taken into account for the 21-22 period. 17-18, 18-19, and 19-20 loss periods were taken into account for the current EMF. For the future EMF on the 22-23 policy periods, losses for the 18-19, 19-20, and 20-21 periods were calculated. Notice the lag time for the current year, 2021, and the future year, 21-22. The 3 loss experience years used in the rating are from completed terms after the audit has occurred. The experience mod takes into account past losses in order to cover costs for future claims. EMF recognizes that the cost or severity of a specific accident is often left to chance and is statistically less predictable than the fact that the accident occurred or the frequency. An experience modifier of 1 would be applied for an employer that has demonstrated the expected performance. Poorer loss experience leads to a modifier greater than 1, and better experience to a modifier less than 1. The example in the slide shows a standard premium of $50,000 being applied to a mod of 1.15. The modified premium ends up being $57,500. Using $50,000 in premium with a mod of 0.85, the modified premium ends up being $42,500. This slide shows an application of the EMF taking into account the different departments and their rates. So if you look at the example, you see the clerical, firefighter payroll and the rates associated with each, as well as the premium. The total premium in this case is $93,720. The employer's modification factor is 1.25. So their modified premium ends up being $117,150. If the same employer had a EMF of 1, their modified premium would be $93,720. If the employer had a mod of 0.85, their modified premium would be $79,662. And if the employer had a mod of 0.52, which is currently Imwca's lowest mod, then their modified premium would be $48,734, which is $68,416 less than if they had a mod of 1.25. The current slide covers split rating for indemnity claims. The indemnity claim amount is the loss amount that's in the slide. Split rating is used to reflect both the frequency and severity of losses. The amount of any loss up to the split point of $18,500 is known as a primary loss, which reflects frequency. The amount in excess of the split point is known as an excess loss, which reflects severity. For an individual claims below the split point, the entire amount is primary loss and the excess loss is 0. Medical-only claims are discounted by 70% when entered into the experience mod calculation. For indemnity claims, the full amount of the claim up to the split point, $18,500, is included in the calculation as a primary loss. An example, if a $10,000 medical-only claim would be discounted to $3,000 for the mod calculation. A $10,000 indemnity claim stays at $10,000 for the mod calculation. The workers' compensation premium is derived from employee payroll. Each department is assigned a rate based upon the hazard and duties of the job. For example, fire has a rate of 46.79 and clerical has a rate of 0.20. The pure premium, which is the rate times the payroll, is then multiplied by the experience modification factor to get the modified premium. Any discounts or surcharges are then applied to the modified premium to come up with the discounted premium. The discounted premium is then increased by the expense constant. Expense constant is a premium charge that is applied to every policy regardless of premium size. It contributes to the recovery of expenses common to issuing, recording, and auditing a policy. You can control workers' experience compensation costs through payroll and the experience modification factor. In conclusion, we talked about what the experience modification factor is, workers' compensation claim types and their effect on the experience modification factor, how the experience rating works, and the application of the EMF in the premium calculation. If you have further questions about this presentation, please contact me at andrewjustice@iowaleague.org or at 515-974-5341. Thank you.